A guy finds an old phone in a building's ductwork, and it is something he should have left undiscovered. This is for entertainment purposes only. This short story is only for people over the age of 18.
My body is yours to use any time you want, Master. Text me anything and I will obey.
When I first saw that text without reference, I thought it was just some random glitch or a thirsty girl who sent it to the wrong person. But as I kept scrolling to see how wrong I was, it was just a never-ending stream of that kind of stuff. There were hundreds of profiles. Not just texts, but a whole text message threads full of photos that would probably make a porn director blush. Like high-res, super dirty pictures of women who didn't even look real. They looked like gym sculptures. I'm getting ahead of myself. For work, I do HVAC. If you spend your whole day crawling through old buildings and squeezing through the spaces next to air ducts, you find some weird stuff inside the air ducts. Usually, it's just trash. Dead rats, old toys, maybe a ring or a $20 bill. But this time, while I was working at this massive fancy estate, I found a smartphone jammed deep in a vent. It was an old model and the battery was dead. The phone looked brand new but dirty. The guy who owned the house didn't even know it existed. He just shrugged and told me to keep it. I took that old phone home, plugged it into my computer, and waited for it to turn on. Once it booted up, I realized I hadn't just found a phone. I'd found a digital archive of some guy's obsession. The contacts list had thousands of women. The text threads were all female fitness freaks and hardcore female bodybuilders. They all looked about the same, or at least had similar attributes. Each woman had fake boobs, abs like a washboard, and so lean that their muscles popped up in ways that looked scary. In every photo, they were either totally naked or wearing basically nothing just to show off their bodies. And they weren't just posing, they were pledging. Every picture had a caption about being something like a sex slave or servant.
My body is yours to use any time you want, Master. Text me anything and I will obey.
Take me in the dark, take me in the park, take me from behind, take me anytime.
I've stopped wearing panties for when you want to take me with nothing stopping you.
Mouth slit ass. Pick any hole you desire, Master.
Those were the tame ones. The deeper I went, the more graphic and intense it got in words and pictures. I got kind of obsessed with that old salvaged phone. I started doing some digging and compared the GPS locations in some of the photos to the address of the house where I found the phone. Turns out the place used to be this exclusive high-end wellness center for women. One person put it like a sanctuary for fitness and optimization. That's why the backgrounds in the phone's picture album looked like the rooms I'd been cleaning out at the house. Then I looked up the owner of the phone number at the time of the pictures. One Philip Martin popped up. A quick Google search showed he'd actually died in a high-speed chase while running from the cops on prostitution charges. Among the files saved to the phone, there was one video. It was called Genesis, and was the first thing sent to every single woman on the text list. It was basically the spark that started everything and led to all the nudes and vows. I moved the file to my laptop, but the format was messed up or encrypted. No matter what software I tried, it wouldn't open. I knew someone who was a pro at data recovery. My girlfriend, Chloe. I sent the file to her, thinking she could crack it in 2 minutes. The video was only about 3 minutes long. After 10 minutes of silence, I called her to see if it worked. Her voice sounded off. She didn't even mention the file. Instead, she started talking about her life with this sudden, frantic energy. She told me she was joining a gym, not just to be healthy, but to get serious muscle. Then she mentioned she was looking into breast implants.
All of my clothes are too big and baggy,
Chloe said, and her voice sounded kind of buzzy.
If I'm going to spend all this time building muscle and dropping fat, I want to look good while clothed too. As soon as my body fat is low enough, I can't wait to rock your world, Master. Here's something, got to go.
Then she hung up. I stared at that old phone like it was a bomb. Master. Since when does she call me that? We've never done that kind of thing. I started panicking. I needed to know if this was a coincidence or if the file was like some kind of digital virus. I sent the video to my brother. When I called him 5 minutes later, he said the file wouldn't even open on his phone. I felt way better. Then, just to be sure, I sent it to Maggie, an ex that I'm still cool with. A few minutes later, I gave her a call.
I'm just getting in the car for the gym.
Maggie told me, and I could hear her engine running.
Honestly, I haven't been in weeks, but I feel like I really need to start again. Really push it. Build some muscle, drop the body fat. When the fat goes, so go my tatas. So I'm thinking about implants. What do you think? Would you like to slide your man meat between my chest cannons, master?
I dropped my current smartphone on the table. I looked at the old and dirty phone. That device seemed to haunt the entire space. I scanned my empty room, and I actually got chills. This wasn't a glitch or a joke. I'd found some kind of paranormal digital virus, and I just let it into the lives of the women I love.
The end. This was a work of fiction. Any similarity between people, living or dead, is purely coincidence. This scenario did not, or should not, have happened in real life. Thank you for listening.